ideas of Disneyland. Now he's the Walt Disney himself, personally financed his own company, a separate company from the Walt Disney Productions Company, a company known as WED Enterprises, W-E-D. Anyone guess what W-E-D stands for?
His name?
His name, Walter Elias Disney. And Walter Elias Disney Enterprises was the minds and brains, the dream team of the early concepts of Disneyland. They were going to come up with the ideas, they were going to come up with the blueprints of what Disneyland was going to be, come up with the attractions and the shows, and put those stories to life. Now once the concept started produced, Walt Disney sold the WED Enterprises company over to the Walt Disney Productions Company. And there's no money exchanged in value into the companies because he would be just paying himself, right? Because he owned both companies. Once WED Enterprises turned over to the Walt Disney Productions Company, they changed the name to what we know today as Imagineers, or the Walt Disney Imagineers. Now, Walt Disney Imagineers are the brains of all our theme parks, all our movies and such. We like to pay tribute to a lot of our Imagineers, whether you see Hidden Mickeys. You want to know, like Hidden Mickeys?
Yeah.
I'll point some of those out on this tour this morning. But there's no way we can possibly pay tribute to all of our Imagineers by placing names or anything like that. Because if we would have a name on a castle, we'd have a name here, and you would probably wonder, myself would wonder, well, who is this? What are you doing? I'm like, I don't know. So, but we do like to pay tribute to at least some of our first Disney Imagineers. Now, as we pass down through the castle, which is very quiet, and you don't get very quiet here during the day, or it's less crowded. We'll pass through the 1950s classic of Cinderella. You can take a look at the mosaic. There's a couple important people that are here that I want to point out for you. Walt Disney had us in mind that he wanted to create this mosaic in the castle. So he went over to a lady by the name of Dorothea Redmond. You can see here. Dorothea Redmond was the artist and the idea. She came up with the idea of what the mosaic was going to look like. Also, you have Han Sharfield. He was the actual person that came in. He was a mosaicist, and he came in and placed tile by tile. So he must have been a very patient placing all these thousands of tiles that have sterling silver, 12-karat gold. Now again, I mentioned that we do want to pay tribute to some of our Imagineers, especially our first Imagineers, and some important ones that helped the construction of Cinderella Castle here. So if you take a look here, you'll see Cinderella's footman and duke. They'll have the faces of two of our first Imagineers, especially that helped with the construction of Cinderella Castle, as well as later projects on with the Walt Disney World Company. Here at the bottom, we have Duke, we have Herb Ryman, and then we have John Hinch here, which we'll talk about him a little bit. An interesting story about Herb Ryman here. He was the creator or the designer of Disneyland. Walt Disney himself went one Friday evening, went to Herb Ryman and said, I have this great idea of this Disneyland project that I want you to build, that we want to build. We want you to draw something up. He's like, sure, I can do that. Walt Disney and him shared some ideas, what it was going to look like. Herb Ryman thought, oh, how much time do I have? Do I have a couple of months? Do I have a year? So he's like, no, I need you to do it by Sunday. So it's Friday evening, and I need you done by Sunday. No pressure there, but I just need it done. And typically when Walt Disney himself needed something done, he wanted it done now. So no pressure there. So yeah, take a look at there, some of our first Imagineers. He was known as our audio animatronics guy, so he worked on a lot of audio animatronics, as well as John Hinch worked on a lot of future projects. Some of those that you'll see maybe within the World's Fair, maybe in Epcot, as well as Disney's Hollywood Studios. He worked on some of those projects. We'll continue here.